In the tapestry of life, where every thread holds a story, America in black and white emerges as a haven for the voices echoing through the heart of our communities. In this podcast, we wade through the rivers of our collective experiences, celebrating the vibrant hues of change brought forth by the whispers of hope and the roars of action. It's more than just a conversation. It's a journey into the heart of our society, illuminated by the light of those daring to dream and do. Join us, and let your voice be the melody that guides us toward a dawn where every color finds its place in the masterpiece of our shared destiny. Together, let's paint a future brimming with the positives that dwell in our minds and the actions that shape our world.
Good evening and welcome to America in Black and White. Before I say anything else tonight, I want you to do something with me. Take a breath, let your shoulders down, feel the ground beneath you, feel the weight of your own body, that extraordinarily, irreplaceably, miraculous thing that carries you through every joy and every storm of this life. Because tonight we're going to talk about the body, not about what it looks like, not about what it produces or performs for the comfort of the world, but about what it holds, what it heals, and what it is capable of becoming when we finally give it permission to be free. In the African tradition, the body was never separate from the spirit. Dance was not entertainment. It was ceremony, it was prayer, it was the language of the ancestors spoken with the spine and the hips and the hands and the feet. When our people were stolen and carried across the ocean, they carried that knowledge inside them, encoded in muscle memory and rhythm, too deep for chains to reach. On the auction blocks of the American South, enslaved people danced. And while the enslaver called it spectacle, what was actually happening was an act of radical spiritual survival. During the Civil War movement, protest marches were choreography. Their feet on pavement, a percussion line that shook the conscience of a nation. Through the emergence of hip hop in the South Bronx, through go-go in Washington, through bounce in New Orleans, through stepping and stomping and praise dancing, and every form that Black people have ever invented, we have always used the moving body as a site of resistance, remembrance, and renewal. But here's what we do not say enough, and what tonight's conversation insists we say out loud. Movement is medicine. Not metaphorically, not poetically, but clinically, neurologically, spiritually, and communally, movement heals. Research confirms what our grandmothers already knew when they told us to go outside and play, when they sang while they worked, when they put on a record on a Saturday afternoon and let the living room bounce to a sanctuary. The body, when it moves with intention and with joy, releases what words alone cannot touch. Grief stored in the chest, trauma locked in the hips, anxiety coiled in the shoulders. These things do not only live in the mind, they live in the flesh. And it's through the flesh they can be reached. For Black women in particular, the reclamation of the body through movement is not a hobby or a fitness trend. It is an act of radical self-love in a world that has historically treated Black women's bodies as objects of labor, of scrutiny, of regulation. When a Black woman puts on music and moves, when she takes up space with her body and insists that this space is hers, and what she feels is it feels in it matters. She is doing something that centuries of oppression tried to make impossible. She is saying, I am here. I am free. I am worthy of my own healing. Tonight's episode is dedicated to that truth and to every Black woman who has ever found herself on a dance floor, in a studio, in a church, or in the privacy of her own kitchen, moving her way back to herself. Our guest tonight is a woman who did not stumble into this work accidentally. Tabria SoChauntay Sims is a visionary, a dancer, an educator, an entrepreneur, and a healer who has spent her career building the infrastructure that allows communities to access the transformative power of movement. From the stages of performance to the boardrooms of corporate America, from the training floors of her SoChauntay Dance Company to the virtual classrooms of SoChauntay Dance University on the school platform, Tabria has created a body of work that sits at the intersection of art, education, wellness, and community transformation. She is not simply a dance instructor, she is an architect of human flourishing. What makes Tabria's work more particularly compelling to me, and what I believe will resonate with each of you watching tonight, is that she has never separated the personal from the professional, the artistic from the healing. For Tabria, dance is not what she does. It is how she understands the world, how she builds community, and how she invites others into the fullness of their own humanity. Her students are not just learning choreography, they're learning how to inhabit themselves with confidence, with joy, with purpose. And in cultural moment, when the conversations about mental health in Black communities have never been more necessary or more urgent, her work arrives as both an answer and an invitation. So tonight, I invite you to learn to lean in, pour yourself something warm, get comfortable in your body, whatever that means for you right now, and come with an open mind and an open heart, because the conversation we're about to have is the kind that does not end when the shadow does. It is the kind that follows you home, that sits with you in the quiet, that makes you want to get up tomorrow and move. That is what American Black and White has always been about, conversations that change something in you. Let's begin, and let's bring Tabria Sims to the show. Hello. Can you hear me? I don't hear you. I think you're muted.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Yes.
There we
How are
go.
you? How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I am excellent. Thanks for being here.
No, thank you for having me. Like, oh my gosh, this is huge. This is really, really powerful. Like, and the introduction was amazing, by the way. Thank you.
You are you are more than welcome. Is there anything you'd like to say to our audience before we get into the show?
One, I just want to, I guess I could introduce myself, right? Um, He already did an amazing.
Well,
Charles did an amazing job. But I just want to say, welcome everyone. Just come in with an open mind and open heart, like he said. And if you are at home, I want you to drop your shoulders, inhale, exhale, come in with a clear mind, an open heart, and let's reset on this beautiful Monday.
oh yeah, I love that. So we're gonna get into the show, and I want to start first. But I want to give the audience the opportunity to learn a little bit more about you. So we're gonna talk about your roots, identity, and the journey.
Yes.
And so let's start with Rockford, Illinois, is your starting point, your origin story. When you
Mhm.
think back to that city, the streets, the people, the culture, what do you see, and what did growing up there plant inside of you that you carry to this day?
Well, Rockford, Illinois is basically, for you guys who do not know, that it is about 45 minutes away from Chicago, Illinois. So, man, there's nothing there. I just want everybody to know, like, as far as resources, as far as resources and wanting more, like, I've always known that it was something greater inside of me. I knew that, okay, I was intelligent, I'm a black woman. I knew my power early on, and I just knew that I was not going to get stuck there. Like when it came to like education, we have great educational systems, which I'm thankful for. But then when we're talking about, okay, what am I doing after school? What am I doing when I graduate high school? Like we have none of the like no type of resources, right? So it's either stay there, work a regular 9 to 5, or get out. And that's literally what I did. Got out of there as soon as I graduated for high school. And literally migrated my way on to Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So
So
when did you first know, with that deep, quiet certainty that doesn't require proof, that dance was your life's calling and not merely a talent you happen to possess?
well, one, I've been dancing all my life, right? So I've been in front of TVs. Like a lot of normal dancers, you'll ask them, "Oh, like how long you been dancing or how long you've been training," right? And I hate that word training because if it's something that you do, dance is something that's embedded in me and it's a spiritual thing for me. So it's not necessarily nothing that I've been training on, but it's been me. I catch on to choreography quick. So like I'm in front of the TV as a child, I'm hitting the moves, right? My mom catch on like, oh, she can move. Okay. So then I went to I was going to church heavily, really trying to search. Like back at home, honestly, there's like no dance studios. Luckily, recently there's only one dance studio, which is called it's Fab Dance Academy. And shout out to them. Shout out to her. I love going home to teach at that studio every Mother's Day. We're coming this year as well. But yes, man, she literally just created it. But as I was growing up, there was no dance studios. There was a dance team, but like they didn't perform. So there was like still okay, no dance outlet for me. As far as like even ballet classes, like it was hard to even find those. So for as far as like dance wise, that part, the training or going to class, that didn't exist when I was growing up. My class was in front of the TV and seeing different celebrities do their big one with the videos and the choreography when that was actually popping and it was going in and they was, I mean, the full production set, right? Yes, like that is literally where I got my training from. And then I eventually um shoot, I like I said, there was nothing there, and then I moved here. And and then I was in church heavily, so then I became a praise dancer, right?
Mhm.
I
Oh
loved,
wow.
yeah, I became a praise dancer. So I was going to my auntie's church, faithfully, and I just seen the move. And I'm a Cancer, so let me just throw that out there. And for all my Cancers, we all know that we are very spiritually, emotionally, like in tune with our feelings. And man, my superpower was when somebody hit a movement, and I didn't notice until I got older, but like when people move and they just do just one movement, oh my God, the feeling of one head tilt, one arm movement, one inhale, exhale was just like, ooh, wait, what's that? Like that feeling, I don't, it's a different type of feeling, and all my dancers really know that. And then this is praise dance at that. So I'm like, okay, no, I gotta join. So then I joined. Then after I joined, well, my church, I have my family church back at home. They're like, oh, we need a praise dance instructor. This is me at 10, 11 years old teaching children. So I'm like, yeah, let's be a praise
Oh
dance teacher. I
wow.
want to dance. So yes, I was teaching. It was about like 10 of them. I had about 10 students. And man, when I tell you I still have the videos to this day. I just recently watched a video to do some reflecting, and it almost made me cry because it's like, oh my gosh, that was my piece. Like I did that. That's at a young age. That's what I was talking about. Um, that language that I was using, that power. So I was like, okay, yeah, yeah. That's when I was like, that's it. That's what I love to do. When I move and that feeling, that energy shift, my whole nervous system just shifts into like just happiness. It's like, okay, like it just feels so good. Like, and that's how when I knew, okay, that's what I like to do. It's it. And then the teaching part, like that's my favorite part of it. Like some dancers would be like, oh yeah, I like to dance with the artists and stuff. But my very, very favorite part is the teaching because I can teach you what dance really meant. And I love that you hinted on like the history of dance, where it originated from, how it was presented. And once I got into that, and I didn't get into that until college at my alma mater, Clark Atlanta University, we had a guest speaker come in, and she was just talking about our African diaspora and like where we came from, and like how how we use dance. And then she automatically just said dance, and here we go. God just be moving at the
Right.
time. And this is my this is my junior year in college.
Uh-huh.
I'm listening to this lady, and she's like, and when you dance, it start with dance. Like I said, oh. Then she explained where it came from, how it moves, how you start from the ground up, and then you just. I said, "Oh my gosh, this is so me." Oh Lord, okay, this is what we're talking about.
So, can you tell us, coming from a rural area, like Rockford, and coming to the city in Atlanta, was there like a culture shock that you had to gather yourself in order to get to this state of where you are right now?
Actually, yes, but in a good way though. Like
Mhm.
it was something that I really needed, and I didn't know that I needed. So, like I said, from where I'm from, like we have a community college, right?
Mhm.
I think bigger. My mom has always motivated me to think bigger, go higher, right? So
Mhm.
oh my gosh, shout out to my yearbook teacher. I love her to death, Miss Glidden. I love her to this day. She sat me down. Because she knew what I wanted to do. I was the editor in chief in yearbooks, so I did photography, videography, and I created yearbooks as well. So I was already in the director field role, doing that. Anything that had to do with movement. That was what I was trying to target. So
Mhm.
man, starting there and her actually sitting me down and being like, okay, so these are the universities that you can go to. And did you know that there's all Black colleges? All Black. I'm coming from a diverse high school and middle school with 85% is white people. Then we
Right.
have the rest of us are the minority. So
Right.
then my teachers are also minority. No, they're also all white. So I have no Black teachers. They're all white. I had one Black teacher, honestly, one Black teacher, Miss Aluka Guy, which is still my mentor to this day, and she was my elementary school teacher, and that was it. I've had one
Uh,
about nope, about two, and but that one was actually when I was in preschool. So two Black teachers I've had
mhm.
growing up.
Wow. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
and then getting so being taught, being taught about you, quote unquote, from somebody who does not look like you, it have you questioning a lot. I'm I questioned a lot of things. Like I was that student.
Right.
Hello, okay, and it's the most I would say, and it's so crazy because as I get older and I start to reflect on my life, and it's just like, wow, I really was in an African American class with a white professor. who was teaching me about me.
Mm.
Yeah. So that was crazy in itself. So I always questioned it and then always went around the subject. And the only thing we learned about in that class, honestly, like the students in the classroom, it was kind of like a protest, honestly. Like we kind of protested the whole time. Like we challenged him, honestly. So he could never teach, but we
Mhm.
always challenged him. So we asked him questions because if you're teaching something about me, I want to know all the questions. I want to know all the answers. So what is it? And he would get irritated because he didn't know, like, he couldn't get deep into it. Like
Right.
slavery, where did that come from? What you know what I'm saying? Like just little bit of things. Like where did all this stuff come from? You're talking about it in the book, but what are we talking about for real? Like I'm confused. And I am an honor roll student, all AP classes. So I'm battling and competing with white people the
Yes.
whole
Yes.
time because
Yes.
the teachers are challenging me. So they're like, and not noticing that I was doing this, but like just as I get older, like I said, and I reflect, it's just like I really was back, like really in the whole challenge, like went through a whole phase with all of the white students. And even on the cheer team, there was 3 black girls on the cheer team. We only had 3. And then like 2 more came on later on. So it was a total of like 4 of us. That
Mhm.
was it.
Wow.
Stuff like that. So it was a complete culture shock when I went to Clark Atlanta University and my yearbook teacher told me I could go to an all black college. Whoa, that was different. Let's go. How do I apply and where do I sign up?
I can only imagine that. That is, but again, I think from just a cultural perspective, that's got to be something as you look back on and you reflect. It's like, when you're getting to be the person that you want to be. I don't mean this in the wrong way, but kind of like when you say you got somebody that don't look like you that's trying to teach you about you, that kind of like puts you here.
It
But
does
when you but when you learn it from someone that looks like you elevate. And
completely.
so it kind of takes away, but I understand how that goes because
Yep.
some people just, I think they get into the wrong course. I'll just put it to you like that.
Yes. They definitely do. Um, definitely got into the wrong course. I think he was a little discouraged after he got into it. He was excited. I see where he was coming from, right? I do see it, but
Right,
like I don't.
right.
I see it, but I
Oh,
don't.
so talk to me about your family. Who were the first people in your life who saw the dancer in you, and how did they respond to what they saw?
Oh my gosh, my mom. Well, one, all my family. All my family is very supportive. I'm very family oriented. Like my family is everything. So like that's I was raised from a village. But specifically my mom, that's that one right there. It was my way or the highway. Mom, I want to do this. Okay, do it. Mom, I
Mhm.
like to do this. Okay, do that. Mom, I dance. Okay. Now I see that and I believe in that. And that is where I know that's your true calling.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Mom was number one. Number one. Still is.
So there's a particular kind of education that a city gives you, lessons that no degree program can replicate. What did Rockford teach you about yourself, about Black life, about what it means to build something from the ground up?
Hmm. Rockford taught me one, determination. They taught me how to be determined to do anything that I want to do. They also taught me to about family, having that support system, having that backup plan, having that community around you of people who believe in you. No, I see you for better. So I'm gonna elevate you in either any way I can because even though I didn't go there, I see potential in you. So I'm gonna take you where you need to go. That is one, especially for some of them. But like my tribe, my community, yeah, they definitely taught me about community and determination. Straight grind mode. I mean, that's where all my grind mode came from. Like I said, I was a cheerleader. We had have 5 o'clock in the morning practices. One of the best cheer teams in the city, in the
Mm.
whole of Illinois, in Nick 10 competitions, competing real heavy. Like bring it on cheer.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that determination, that grind mode, that's it. That's where Rockford instilled that fire in me. That there's just that part, because I had no choice. It's like I have no choice. And then Clark gave me a a way to title it, and it was find a way or make one. That is what Rockford was instilling in me, and then Clark taught me that. So, yeah.
Well, there's a question that's in the chat, and I don't know if I want to put this on the screen, but there's a young man asking the question, what is the difference between white history and black history? Would you like to answer that question?
Hmm. Hmm. Not really.
See,
But if we're
I would
coming
say
from
this.
where I am from, where from a HBCU mindset, where I was taught, there is the difference between white history and black history is that black people basically created the history. I mean, we are kind of the history. It's basically the same thing. We are the history.
So
like
let me
like
let
their
me
history is our like.
let me just say this, because it's always interesting that we have some folk that like to come in with this kind of stuff. But I'm going to say this: when they want to talk about the difference between Black history and white history, what we have to understand is Black people are the history that make up the entire universe of what the world is and its existence.
Exactly.
So anything else other than Black comes from Black.
That's it.
And so,
Everything comes
with
from
that
us.
being
So
said,
anybody's history is
yeah,
our history.
exactly. So I think that's one of the things that people kind of like need to understand. So just put it
Yes.
in that big old window, and then you just look through it.
Yep.
So the decision to attend Clark Atlanta University, an HBCU, a historically Black institution in the heart of Atlanta, was a significant one. But what drew you there, and what do you hope to find that you couldn't find anywhere else?
Well, to be honest, Clark was definitely, well, if we're being honest, Clark was definitely not my first choice. HBCUs wasn't my first choice. Going to
Mhm.
black schools wasn't my first choice either. I didn't even know about that choice coming from where I was coming from. Thanks to my yearbook teacher, she told me, hey, look at this. This
Mhm.
is where you can go, right? So I started off looking at Juilliard. I was going to
Okay.
Juilliard. I was getting ready, getting prepped for Juilliard. Like, I'm going. Application, the 20, they was only, at that time, they was only taking 20 girls, 20 guys. That was it.
Mhm.
No more. So I had to go in. But then she told me about that. So I'm like, okay, well, let me apply to everything. I'm just gonna apply to everything. Then I seen an all-girl school for Spelman. Spelman was the first option. So,
Mhm.
and then she told me, oh no, that's an all-girl school. And I did my research with her, and we sat down, and she was like, well, I don't know if you want to go to an all-girl school. I said, oh no, not that one. Never mind. Then she told me about Clark Atlanta University. So then I looked into that one, and honestly, I just applied to all of them. But
Mhm.
that I was, and honestly, I forgot I applied. That's the crazy thing. I forgot I applied, but I was sitting down, literally getting my hair done, about to graduate. At the moment, I just did the early application for like college and stuff. So I just wanted to prepare early. So because I was getting ready to graduate. But I literally was sitting down getting my hair done. I will never forget that day. And I looked on my email because I'm always checking my email, and Clark Atlanta University acceptance letter.
Oh wow.
Okay, let me call my mom. Wait a minute.
Oh,
I'm going to
oh,
school.
oh wow.
Like I'm going to school, like a real university, like not a community college. This is a private institution. And I got in based on my academics. So
Right.
got in there. No financial aid in the beginning. I didn't know how to deal with that until later on, but I didn't know how to deal with that. Like
Wow.
a full ride in there because of my academics.
Wow. And congratulations to you for not just that success, but actually carrying it forward and doing what you're doing now.
Yes.
So, how did Clark Atlanta University shape not just your academic mind, but your artistic sensibility, your sense of identity, and your understanding of what your work is ultimately for?
Hmm. I always start off with, when I tell people, I say my mom raised me, but Clark made me. Um, Going there, really going to that institution, and like you said, it's a huge culture shock because one, I'm around people that look like me, and I'm getting taught by people that look like me. Not to mention, these are all millionaires,
Mhm.
people with real life like jobs, like real life money, like can do whatever they want to do. But they're here teaching us because they're on a project, right? Half of our teachers are literally there sometimes on a project, sometimes just because they just love to teach and they have so much money and wisdom and knowledge they want to give back, and that's how they do that. And they give back through all of the grants, the sponsors, the scholarships, all of it, right? That's all funded by our teachers. So people who look like me, and then knowing from where I come from, right? And then the regular people is really working a 9 to 5. Everybody mindset, their mind is strictly like in that slave mentality, right? Where I gotta go to work, I gotta go to work, I gotta work, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, and I gotta do this. Like it's crazy. Or I gotta go answer to the master or if I'm late, if it's crazy. Like me, I just knew that wasn't me. I knew a regular job I couldn't. It didn't make sense. I'm very logical. As a Cancer, I'm very, very logical. And common sense is common. Like it actually is common sense, like that's a real thing. And I don't think that our people was utilizing it the right way. Which has led me to where I'm going now.
Mhm.
Um, for my company and my brand and where I'm actually about to take it. But man, like it just wasn't, I didn't see nothing but the same thing. Either and then you got pregnant too at a certain age. So as soon as you graduated, you were pregnant, and it was just a common thing. Or you were becoming a nursing, a CNA. And I'm like, I didn't want to keep that trend. Like this can't be a trend. Like that type of mental, like that's a mental insane thing. Like that'll drive you crazy. Like you don't think that going to work drive you crazy, and then go actually clocking in, right? Like that process. That's a process. Like if people just stop and thought, like if we did, like, are we really doing this? Like, am
That's
I
a
really
bad
clocking in?
cycle. That's a
Huh?
bad cycle. That's a
It's a
bad
hu-
cycle.
it's a really bad cycle. Like you don't do nothing else but work and pay bills. That's
Yep.
all we That's all good for. That's all our value is for. My mind, I'm so educated. I know I'm very educated because I just was thinking about different things. And as a child, I journaled a lot. My mom was really, really big on like getting me journals and any way that I can like just be free. So journal, writing it down, really reshaping. Whole time I was reshaping my own paradigm, not noticing it as a child, but really reshaping it because certain little things didn't make sense, so I would fix that and be like, no, I don't believe that and live by that.
So
So
let's talk about the birth of SoChauntay Dance Company. Because I think this is the proper time, I guess, to talk about this because as you're explaining what you're explaining now, takes me to this question here. If you could take us back to the beginning of SoChauntay Dance Company, what was happening in your life, in your heart, and in the community around you that made you say, this needs to exist, and I am the one who must build it?
Well, I was in corporate life. So I graduated with my bachelor's in business management. So I went into business management thinking that, oh, corporate, that's where you're supposed to go right afterwards. Still knowing that I love to dance. Like I was still searching for that dance, something dance, because like I said, Clark Atlanta University, we only had a basketball team or like organizations. We didn't necessarily have a real dance team. Still went to a school with no dance team. So no legit dance team where I can actually do it professionally. So still trying to figure it out. Go to corporate. I'm at Amazon. Didn't like that. That was a whole thing in itself. I hated it. I mean, okay, I hated the process of the job. The mental that pressure that they was putting on us. My associates were the reason why I stayed as long as I did. Um, but I wanted to start there with some change, right? And retention. So every little thing was just adding up to me creating my own thing. Little did I know, even after I graduated college, one of my classes, we had to write our own business plan. I've been had this business plan written down for my studio for my whole future. I just never executed it. But until I got to corporate, quit that, hated it, didn't like it. I don't like authority. I don't like people trying to tell me how to do certain things. Okay, we're gonna leave. We're gonna get out of there. Then I went to Audi and became an assistant manager, still doing the management part. Didn't like that. Quit that. At that point, I was like, okay, it's game time. I have to zone in and follow my purpose. Me and God had a real great heart to heart where I was just like, I'm fed up. Like I can't take this mentally. I'm not clocking in on nobody's job. God, we gotta zone in. That's what we did. And that's how SoChauntay happened in my garage.
Oh wow.
SoChauntay happened from scratch. I quit that job that same day, went in my garage and created SoChauntay. And then the whole thing was created though. I just needed a name. That's the crazy part. The idea was there. Everything was just laid out. The foundation was, I just had to put it all together and then come up with a name. And that was it.
Wow. See, I love SoChauntay because SoChauntay has got its own flair. It's got its own feeling, its own emotions. When you think about that name, SoChauntay, what does that name mean to you?
Oh man, it brings me to tears because it literally is like, oh my gosh, I found me. You know how like you find that little girl inside and you be like, and you grow and just like blossom into that person. It's just like, oh my God, that is me. Like that's been me the whole time. So when I'm doing so one backstory, my uncle's name is Chauncey, right? My mom's brother who passed away. His birthday is also around the same time. And well, he passed away around my birthday, right? And we also have the same birthday around the same time. So if I was a guy, I would have been named Chauncey. But my mom came up with Shantae. So I'm like, let me just look up names. What does my names mean? Like I'm looking up Tabria. What does Tabria mean?
Don't.
I didn't nothing. It was just a Spanish, something in Spanish. And then I'm looking up, then I said, let me see what Chauntay means.
Mhm.
Chauncey pops up, which is my uncle's name. As soon as you Google
Right.
Chauntay, Chauncey is gonna pop up. So I'm like, okay. All right, let's see what that is. Let me see what my name really means. So then it means honesty. It means literally everything that I preach: empowerment, beauty, I mean, oh my God, just energy, energetic, like energy. People attract to me. All my friends, they just think the purest of me. Like I am the like. Yo, I said, oh my gosh, that is so me. I'm so Shantae. So that's so Shantae. And it's just what I liked my for women to literally what my name defines is what defines a true black queen. I mean, pure honesty, just the empowerment. Like we are power. And that's what I really, really stress when I teach, when I dance. Anybody when they dance, like I said earlier, the emotions that you feel just by off of based on one head movement, one arm movement, just one look can get you like, oh. oh, they about to snap. So
Yes.
like, man, that is where SoChauntay came from.
So when you named the company SoChauntay, what did that name mean to you? Well, you just told me what that means to you, but what vision and what identity, what promise were you encoding into those letters?
Hmm. Confidence and empowerment.
Mhm.
Um, my two things, because every time that I work with a lot of adult women, a lot of women that is way older than me. And it's a lot of black women as well, and all women in general. I love working with women. I just love, especially our older women who brain is more a little bit more developed, and they just need a little bit of help or a little bit of guidance to come back. You know, sometimes we need that, just that push, like get up, girl, like you got it. I love that feeling, and just dance alone, like just one, like I said, just how it makes them feel, that confidence. And people will always ask me, even when I'm in dance classes, how are you so confident? Like, where did that come from? And I'm like, okay, maybe I need to teach that, because that's actually something women are lacking. And I didn't notice it, because like I said, I use dance to build me up. I use that to remind me of who I am, and to speak and use that as my language. So when people be like, "How do you have all that confidence?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just me. Like, I'm just honest, and I live in my pure authenticity. Like, I'm very authentic. Like, you won't see no fluff. Like, this is truly who I am. You can't get no better than that. I've never had to switch up. I've never had to do like the code, even around white people. I don't do the code. Like, you gonna get what you gonna get, and that's it.
Mhm.
And that's what I utilize for dance. And I love seeing women take that part of movement and utilize that within their daily practices. Like, and it's really starting in the mind. I always start with the mind. As I get older, I notice it's the paradigm. So my paradigm switch, I'm just retraining my mind, right? And just shifting gears, right? And everything is learned. So I'm just relearning myself. And I think that that's the best part about SoChauntay, is you get the opportunity to just be authentic, empower yourself through your confidence. Simple.
So what was the void you identified in the dance landscape? The gap between what existed and what Black communities and Black women in particular actually needed, and how did SoChauntay step into that space?
Well, one thing that we have been getting into recently is my somatic healing processes. And
Mhm.
that has been one of my favorite things, because honestly, I've been doing it. And once you understand your body, like I said, I utilize dance to also learn my body, especially as Black women, for any health issues, any type of um like diseases, illnesses that people naturally get. I'm a dancer. So all the practices and the exercises that we do, it's helping my nervous system. It helps my body. It helps build my stamina. It helps me, just little things. And actually studying your body, I think that that's the best part, and what you can use dance as. Like you said earlier, it's literally the study of the body. So with that part, like, I have been able to use my somatic healing, and I use it in my community, Shantae Dance University, which is on the school app, and it is called Somatic Heals Reset. And with that is, we do like just different ways we can reshape the mind, because it really starts in the mind and then it works the body. If your mind is right where it need to be, your whole body is just going to flow. So we have to start with the mind first. And it's something that I've just been teaching my women, because it's just like, you gotta believe in yourself first. The same as saying you gotta believe in yourself, or else who else gonna believe in you, right? It's the same concept. You got to take care of your body, or else who else going to take care of your body? So you can utilize that through movement, and just through like breathing techniques, or just stretching. A simple stretch a day, a simple head tilt a day, a simple touching on certain sides of your body a day will literally release so much anxiety, stress, lower tension in the back. And these are just practices that I've been doing as well, to like clear those, to clear the pain away. And yeah, so that's what I've been
Wow.
utilizing.
So tell our audience as they're watching tonight, especially those in that's here in the Metro Atlanta area. Tell them what are they going to get if they actually participated in SoChauntay, and why they should select SoChauntay to help them with this life journey.
Well, my Georgians and people from all over the world. I teach virtually, I teach this in person, I teach everywhere, right? But what I am teaching you is one, how to love yourself again. I think that we are losing that. But I also teach it through movement. I think you can teach a lot of things through dance. And it don't have to just be a hip hop, a dance in a ballet routine or choreography, right? You can use dance to empower yourself by any means. You can use dance to cure yourself, actually, cure your whole body mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, you can utilize dance. So not or movement. And it don't necessarily have to be just dance. It could be just movement in general. So you kind of get the whole framework of like the somatic healing and how to heal yourself through dance. Not just come to take dance classes to get a little sweat off, but why am I sweating? Right? Like why are you sweating? Why what part of your body is causing you to sweat that much? Can't you lose that little gut in the middle? Why is my lower back hurting? How can I actually fix that? And I think that when people go to classes, and something that I have been searching for when I go to classes, and luckily I found one in Nashville. Shout out to Solace. But when I found her class, it was just like, okay, if I'm going to teach you, and shout out to Amazon as well, because we're going to talk about the root cause of it. Right? Like, well, let's talk about the root cause. Why are you not confident? Where are we going with that? Like, what do you struggle with? Do you even believe in yourself? Like, where are you at mentally? How do you talk to yourself? You can talk to yourself through movement in a certain way, but I just focus on you mentally and emotionally and as a person. And I think that I utilize that dance to basically empower you. So that's why you guys should come and dance with me, because we're not just dancing, just to dance. We're actually redefining who we are, resetting our paradigm, and feeling good while doing it and looking good.
Okay, that's what's up. Uh, Building an arts organization as a Black woman entrepreneur comes with a particular set of challenges that are rarely acknowledged publicly. What were some of the hardest early moments, and what kept you moving forward when the obstacles felt overwhelming?
Well, some of the hardest parts was, honestly, if we're going to be completely honest,
Mhm.
the hardest part was myself, putting all the pressure on myself. I think that as entrepreneurs, and I'm also hosting, we're hosting a class on my school community app. I have a guest speaker. She's talking about the mind of an entrepreneur. But one of my mentors that I recently met, literally, it's so funny how guys start putting people in your corner because to help pick you up, especially when his soldiers are down. He'll send one real quick to be like, let me adjust the crown. And sometimes you have to do that as well in this business, especially as an entrepreneur. It's not necessarily based off of how much, I mean, yeah, it is how much money we make. Yeah, we want to do that, but what's the bigger picture, right? Like if it's only strictly about the money, then what's the point? Like, what is the point? Do you love what you do? I think that that was one of the reasons why I just like, okay, I'm not looking at it as far as like how much money I make in a year. Like if, of course, I have a goal. We have a goal. We have a lot of goals, but it's not all about that financial part. Like I think if as entrepreneurs, if we get out of our head, especially specifically with me, it was about, okay, well, I didn't hit this quota this year. I'm only open for 1 year. Like it's just the pressure we put on ourselves. But who has got me through it is me and God. It's just been me and him. Me and God. Whoever you believe, as entrepreneur, find you somebody who, I don't know what faith people believe in, who they worship, but find somebody to believe, to have that higher power. And in your
That's
corner. And then also the people you keep around you, your energy, your inner circle.
Mhm.
Important things. And that's keeping going every day. And my goal, like I love to dance. Like
Mhm.
what?
So, talk to me about the disciplines you work across: hip hop, heels, jazz, ballet, contemporary, lyrical, fitness. Why was it important to you to build a company that was not confined to a single style or tradition?
Because to be honest, I wanted to go to that Juilliard school. I wanted to go there, but since I didn't get to go there and get in, I was going to create my own. So that's what I did, and I'm going to do all styles to create my own franchise and do what I want to do. And that's how Shantae Dance University came about. And then now we're also in the process of starting the real university. But I'll keep you guys updated on that.
Well, we definitely gonna be following you for that anyway.
Oh
So we'll make sure
yeah.
that that gets out. Um, what was the first moment when you knew that SoChauntay Dance Company had truly become something larger than yourself, when the community had genuinely claimed it as their own?
Oh man. I would say when I got my first booking, my aunt my aunt asked me, "Hey, can you teach? I want you to teach like when my tribe around me when they were actually like, hey, can you teach? I need to pay you for this birthday class that we're hosting, and I need you to be the dance instructor." And it's a whole birthday party, so it's a lot of women in there, and they all older. So we need a beginner dance, a beginner dance. Don't do too much, but I want it to be sexy, and I want it to be. I'm like, okay. So my very first heels class that I taught was just like, oh, oh no, this is it. Oh,
Oh,
this is what I'm
okay.
talking about. Okay. That feeling afterwards, and then just the conversations that I had with the women afterwards was just like, oh wow. Oh, I'm actually like empowering women. Like, oh no, this is a thing. Like I'm really doing it. So yeah, when you actually start to do it, you be like, oh, I'm doing it. Yeah. One of those moments.
Well, a couple of comments here for you. You can respond to these. There's the first one here. This is from Mr. Jackson. It says, "Let's go with fixing the crown."
What do you say?
And here it is. I'll put it on the screen for you
Let me
again.
see.
Hold on.
Because I don't know why I can't. Oh, there
There
he
you
is.
go.
Now I can see the comments.
Yes. And here's the second one. If you want to respond to these, you can.
I know, right? Build it, Corey, build it and they will come, which is what I did. Since I couldn't go to the Juilliard where I wanted to go, I was just gonna build my own. And that's something that Clark also taught me. Find a way to make one. Okay,
Yes.
I'll make my own. Don't worry about it. And I'm gonna teach all styles. And we're gonna do it better be like, yeah, I don't break dance yet. I'm working on break dance. And once I learn how to break dance, that's added onto it. Exactly. I'm
Oh,
getting the
really?
break dance down.
They put it in the Olympics.
Exactly. I'm about to be in this breakdancing. So once they are in the breakdancing part, okay, I'm excited. I'm in there. Now I'm in there.
So let's move over to Shantae Dance University and the school platform. Shantae Dance University is a bold and exciting idea. What was the genesis of it, and what was the moment you realized that what you were teaching needed a university, not just a studio?
Well, go back to that mindset of I'm gonna create my own university, but this time I'm gonna do it virtually.
Mhm.
Like, ooh, I could do my own little university. I could make my own dance school, my virtual dance studio, and teach
Mhm.
these women online even if I couldn't, because I didn't have a space at the moment. At the moment, I still teach virtually or I do my in-person privates.
Okay.
Since I'm in Georgia, I moved back to Georgia from Nashville.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm in a process, not necessarily looking for a space because I'm also somewhere else. with my company. We're gonna take it there first, and then we'll reverse back. But yeah, I'm like, okay, I want to teach. I really, really want to teach. I can go to these dance studios, and yeah, I can get the clientele. And yes, I would have to still pay the dance studio fee, but I can still teach. Or I could go on this platform and I could teach virtually and make my own money and create my own platform and my own studio. And I chose to do that. Yeah.
So why school? Of all platforms available to you in the digital education space, what was it about school that made it the right home for SoChauntay Dance University?
Well, I didn't know about school until one of my mentors, my great mentors, Lauren Messina. She sent me a message on Instagram, and it was way before I was even thinking about starting my own company. She sent me a message saying, "Hey, I think you should join this thing." And I'm like, "This, if you're a dance teacher, I seen something about." I'm like, "Okay, whatever. I'm not looking at that. It's just another scam." But then I got real into it, right? I started creating my own thing. And then I'm like, "Ooh, okay, I need to teach. Like, now I need to teach somewhere. I need a space. So I can go ahead and look." But then I remembered, oh, this lady did reach out to me about a space. Let me go back to my Instagram DMs. I went back, looked up her name, found it, the top one, out of nowhere. This is how God work. Top one, found her, sent her, read the message, what she said. All I seen was something about dance and teaching and something like that. And I left it away. I just ignored it. But then I read it again. And she was like, if you wanted to be a dance teacher, if you want to teach on my platform. I said, oh, she wants me to teach on her platform. Okay, what is this? I looked at it, did my research, and reached out to her, and she explained everything, and it was beautiful. I said, oh my gosh, you mean to tell me like I could just come on here and create my own thing and get paid from it too? Like I could teach and get paid online. She was like, yes. Like, oh, well, let's go then. How do I start my own thing? And I taught her
Okay.
her platform, and it was so fun. Like my first virtual dance class. So I was like, oh, this actually turned out very well. And I got great feedback from it. The ladies in the community loved it. So I was just like, okay, it's time for me to create my own.
So, online dance education is a fascinating and sometimes controversial concept
Hmm.
because dance, after all, is a physical, embodied, commune practice. How do you bridge the gap between the screen and the body? And how do you make virtual movement instructions feel real and transformable?
Well, one, I like for people to feel like family in general. So when you are in my presence and in my aura, you're going to feel like home. So when I'm teaching you, that's the first thing that I want people to feel. It's just like feel like they're at home. Um, we had to do a few test runs to see like, okay, does this work? How does this work? Can you hear me? All of that technology stuff. Which way should I teach this way? Should I teach facing you? All of that good stuff. But after a few like test runs, we kind of just got the ball rolling, and it's just simple now. The ladies kind of just put the phone up, put it on the TV, and they just follow along. And then also just like making it really the way I structure my classes, having that set structure of a class, so that way my students know, okay, we're gonna stretch in the beginning, we're gonna do our quick somatic reset, and then we're gonna get into the routine, or I'll let them know like what's going on in the beginning. So like just really having that set structure of the class, and that engagement part, letting the people really engage, stopping, talking to them, asking them questions like, "Can you see this?" It's just little things that feedback that me and my members, were doing in the beginning for the test runs. But other than that, like it's been great. I think honestly, and me trying it out a few times as well, and other people communities seeing how they were teaching in their community, that helped a lot as well. So.
So let's talk a little bit about the movement, the mental health, and the healing.
Mhm.
Because I thought the after reading your bio and when we had our conversation, I thought that, that was really, really interesting, because when you think about from the mental to the physical to the emotional, dance actually touches all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And so the phrase movement is medicine is the theme of tonight's episode, and it's the phrase you live by. Can you break that down for us, not as a slogan, but as the true you that you've experienced in your own body and witnessed in the bodies of others? What does it actually mean?
So I have my motto. It's called My Life, My Power, My Decisions, right? I got that from because my power is when I dance. So when I dance, I'm thinking of like the force and the different things that it does to my body. So just like I said, with the one movement, just the tap to the sides of your body, that's you tapping your nervous system. The start from the bottom and telling your nervous system how to feel. Then if you start from the bottom and work your way up, and these are just practices that like I said, I didn't notice I was doing until I actually stopped and did my research. And then I had the speaker and she was just like, yeah, it actually is medicine. Um, that's where it started from. And just one movement, like I said, the breathing, or just a 30-minute exercise of you dancing, just 30 minutes of you turning on some music. If you notice how when you feel good after you go to like a bar and you just dance after that one song to your favorite song, if you just notice how your body feel afterwards, and you just like, oh, I feel so good, right? That feeling, right? But then what if that you can feel like that all the time? That's where the stretching and the breathing comes in. And then when you are stretching, what I always teach my students is that even when we stretching, we not stretching the right way. Like when we're doing it, we need to inhale, exhale, which is exhaling all of the stress and the release of everything that we've been going through. That's my reset. That's how I reset, right? Um, so my life is choosing my decisions, right? Not only does, like I said, dance utilize it, but like even when I'm angry, I go dance. Even when I'm happy, I dance. Even when I feel some way, I dance, or I breathe. That's one of the key things that I've been doing, really breathing, because a lot of people say, I actually breathe. That stuff don't work. I heard that so much. But then you actually are not breathing. Like you're not. You're mentally, you still thinking up here of all the things you got going on in your head. You still got so many tabs open up here. That's how I said when I close all my tabs out and then I breathe, right? And then I just do just a lot of just meditate. I guess not meditations, but it's just like I guess somatic healing through dance. And then, like I said, my life, right? How do you live your life? What do you put in your body? What are you putting in your body? That's also a big play into how we dance, how we move. Like, how are you moving every day? Are you sitting at the desk all day? Are you going on a walk? Like, are you on your phone all day? You do know that mess with your brain. So now, not only are you putting all of that mumbo jumbo in your brain, you also are not helping to cure it or reset it at all, because we still do the same cycle over and over again. So that's what dance can do. It can do a whole bunch of different things as far as like the healing. Just one movement to the side, just opening your arms, like you're releasing so much tension and so much stress in one day. If you just move, just move. And then your decisions, my decisions. That's where my motto come from. What decisions am I going to make? Like I said, what am I putting in my body? How am I talking to my body mentally? Like that's where I start. How are we talking to our body? Especially when we're stretching. Am I stretching every morning? It's the first thing I do when I get up, I get on the phone, or do I stretch, right? And I had to switch that up. Like that whole process up, because I was getting on the phone the first thing, and that's not how you start your nervous system off, or your brain. Your brain, then it ain't, the tabs ain't never closing it. So so like at this point, like how are you resetting? And is literally the simplest way to reset. And you don't even notice it. We really don't notice it, but we actually do. Even that urge of just, I need to sing, I need to move, I need to do, that's you needing to move. You know, when people be like, oh, I just need to move around. I got that urge. Yeah, you actually need to dance. You're supposed to. Even like from as far as like for women, the twerking, right? That's a whole different thing. Like for Black women, that's how we release all the diseases from from our waist down. Like that's how you remove all those toxins just by opening your legs open, like literally the twerking movement. Like it's just so many different movements. Once you break it down, it's like, ooh, so that cures that. Oh, that make that nerve hit that part and it make me feel like this. So yeah, I just this little study I've been doing on myself, and I love it.
Well, I tell you, look, I'm gonna have to try to implement some of those things for real, because a lot of that I know that I'm missing sitting at this desk all the time.
All the time. But you know what? Even if you're sitting at the desk, but I do that too. And that's one thing that I have been doing with I started this thing, I started at Amazon actually. We used to do this thing called working well huddles. And what I used to do with my team is we literally working all day, but like mentally we're not resetting. So we just strictly just moving like like robots, right? Um, but like, how do we come back? How do we start over, right? And we used to do these things called working well huddles. Well, I didn't like the way that the lady did it. I'm a Cancer. I'm gonna do everything that I want to do on my own. I don't think I'm always do my own way, even if you tell me it's this way. But we doing working with huddles, and my team was like, and this is just me loving dance. They know I love dance, so they was like, we don't want to do that. We want you to stretch us out and you to do it. So I'm like, okay, that's right by me. Let me go ahead and set up these huddle or these stretching routines for y'all, and it went perfect. When I tell you, it lowered my one. I didn't have no retention rate. If my associates were gone, it was because they were with child um or on leave. My all of my KPI metrics hit because just that mindset. People work for people. So me using like redefining their paradigm, switching every time they stepped in the morning, they didn't worry about the work part. They wanted to come in to reset. So that's like, oh, okay, I kind of been practicing it the whole time, just really teaching it now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in Black communities, there has historically been a complex relationship with mental health, a
Hmm.
combination of stigma, mistrust of formal therapeutic systems, and a cultural tendency towards resilience that can sometimes mask deep pain.
Right.
How does dance, how does dance reach people who might not walk through the door of a therapist's office?
Hmm. Ooh, easy. Dance, dance, man. You can literally do. I tell people all the time when I have a hard day, or if I don't feel like myself, I just go dance. And then when you start talking to everybody else, you just go take a class. And then when you start talking to other people around you that's in a class, none of them are real life dancers. None of them want to do it professionally. And the people that actually come to class, they just want that reset. They just want that physical reset. But then it's actually the mind that that they actually are working on. That's why they feel so good afterwards. Like I just feel relief. Even people who exercise, even people who go to the gym. You go to the gym and you work out, you sweat, you get all of that, right? All that tension out. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, I feel good. I feel so good, right? Your whole nervous system, your whole body just reset based off of movement. Movement. Not even just dance, movement. That you empowered yourself through movement. We always do it, we do it all the time. We don't even notice it. But we literally do it all the time. Let your favorite song come on.
Okay, that's my song.
That little sway. Even that little sway. Ooh, that little sway, you still feel good, but that energy around it, if we just pay attention, it's like, oh, that energy shift.
Yes.
Simple things.
So, have you had your own personal experience with movement as a healing tool? Moments when the studio or a particular song or the act of simply moving your body brought you through something that words alone could not resolve.
Yes. Oh, oh yeah, definitely did. And I usually start with I use it through praise dance. Even at this age, right now I have one of my clients, which I'm so blessed, and I'm just so thankful that God is literally using her for as part of my worship. Um, we're doing a praise dance piece, and that's my first love. So that right there is just like, oh my gosh, okay, my God, my healer, right? So worshiping him, and so that's another way that I communicate with him. So for people who don't necessarily do the whole, the get on your knees and pray type of thing, right? Everybody say they get on your knees and pray. Really, you can praise with just one dance, one movement. You don't even have to do all of that. And I praise through that. And I heal through that. And also grow from dance. So from praise dance, yes. I'll just turn on the song and just let them use me. And that's that. And I feel good right afterwards. Brand new.
Wow.
Yep.
So there's a growing body of science around somatic healing. The idea that trauma is stored in the body and must be accessed through the body, not just the mind. How does your work engage with the understanding, whether consciously or instinctively?
Well, like I said, the way that you stretch, I don't think people really, when people say they stretching, they don't know the proper stretching techniques and what they actually supposed to do. Like I was, one of my favorite testimonies from a class that I did, an actual stretching class for beginners. One of my members, she was like, I never even thought of like somatic healing or that in that type of way, like stretching in that way, or like utilizing that tool when I stretch, because I always stretch. Like I've been moved, doing dance, but I didn't think to, oh, I need to breathe. I need to inhale and then bend down, right? Like even when we're stretching our lower back, like you breathe, you have to inhale and exhale as you are stretching too. So just like little movements and how to actually stretch and how to use those breathing tools with and combining them all together, chef's kiss. Perfect. Like, okay. Because even with the lower back tension, and she was like, dang, now I did have lower back tension, but I don't have no tension no more in my lower back. She said, but I didn't think to do it that way though. I didn't think to take my time and slow and get to know my body and study my body, like really touch certain areas of your body. Like we always say a thing in dance classes, like when people be so scared to touch themselves, like, why are y'all scared to touch yourself? Like with like the dancers, how they be afraid. But
Right.
even when you stretching, like when you're doing a simple arm, like what part of your arm is sore, right? Or what part of that muscle are you stretching? So like just understanding your body a little bit more, I think that would be amazing. And that's something that I teach. Um, Everybody, men and women, like understand your body just a little bit more, especially those muscles, certain muscles.
So let's go a little bit in depth with your corporate wellness and community partnerships and the impact of that. Corporate wellness is a booming industry, but much of it is still dominated by conventional approaches: gym
Mhm.
memberships, meditation apps, stress management seminars. How did you break into the space, and how did you make the case for dance as a legitimate and value corporate wellness modality?
Yeah. So I think because um which I just talked to another guy, another partner or whatever, that I connected with. And we were literally just talking about, the mind of it all. Like he was telling me that the difference between a regular convention and what you do is that nobody's focusing on the mind. How do I make myself better? Like the root cause of it all, because he actually does study of the brain. Like how does the brain function? Like all of that good stuff is, and he focuses on mental health and the mental illness. and all of that stuff. And he was just talking about partnering and collabing on something, because he's like, you actually focus on the mind. You start there and then let the rest flow. But it's just like, because that's the brain is your most powerful tool. So if your brain is already jacked up before you even walk into class, how you think the whole class gonna go? Like, you gotta reset. Like, we gotta find some way to reset. Specifically in our community, we have to find a way to reset. And it can't always be the substance, going out, splurging, spending money, doing crazy stuff that we know we're not supposed to be doing. Taking care of our body in a simple way, an easy way, and a free way to do that. It's literally through movement and dance. It's that simple. And breathing, stopping yourself in your tracks. Because sometimes I got to stop myself in my tracks too. It's a practice. But if you continue to practice it, you only get better. I promise you that. I'm a living testimony. I used to be I used to be so hard on myself. I'm my biggest critic. I always say I am my biggest critic, my biggest competition. I have no other competition but myself. That's it. I've been competing with myself all my life. And now I don't have to, because now I can actually love myself and know my worth and know my value. And man, when you get to do that, I think that that's the beauty of it. And then that's the work. That's the, I guess, what you the prize that you win out of it all is you get to find yourself. You actually get to live in your true authenticity. And yeah, that's my testimony. So
So, what is it that you bring to? Well, what is the unique value proposition of Tabria Sims walking into a company and saying, "Let's move"?
oh my gosh. One, the energy change. The whole energy change. Like from like I learned one thing I learned, shout out to Amazon for teaching me, is that people work for people. People l- really work for people. And in these corporations, if you are not a people person or don't have great people skills, that's actually very good communication skills, just loving people in general, just liking humans. I think that that's that's what a lot of corporations lack. And instead of us hitting these metrics, they try to really put on us like metrics, KPI metrics, right? Like, that's the overall thing. But how am I going to hit the metrics if I don't even feel like I can do it? Like, I don't feel good. Like, I just came from, I mean, because it's just from experience, and it's from having working with thousands of associates at Amazon. I had a total of about, man, I worked with about 1,500 more associates, employees. I was an area manager, L1 and L2, within 2 years. And man, my roster was huge because we were a new building. So it was not enough managers. So we was a new building. So we had to launch it and we had to start over from scratch. And so yeah, I had about 200, 300 associates on my roster at one time, right? So those are 300 different minds that I had to transform and tell them to, hey, hit these metrics for me so we can all win, right? But win what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do I motivate them to do that? Like,
Right.
how do you motivate 300 people to hit your numbers that you gotta hit? They gotta hit it. You gotta hit it, or else you in trouble, right? So like,
Exactly.
that type of mindset, and then taking what I love to do and be like, oh well, shoot, I love to dance. My energy just based off of movement and what I bring to the table, and I just love people. Like, I love people. I'm a people person. Um, I like to call myself an extrovert and an introvert because I do love people. I'm very outgoing people person, but then I do need my space where I have to reset. That's my introvert part. But yes, man, now coming into your building and telling your people, okay, now let's start with movement, let's refresh. And then a lot of these people are coming from like so many different walks of life, right? Like, man, they're coming from all over the place. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Okay,
hear
I'm like,
you.
I think my thing went out. But yeah, these people are coming from like all over the place. So like they got a lot going on. So you telling me to come up in here to hit some numbers? How you want me to hit these numbers? Well, let's do the somatic reset. Let me reset your paradigm. Let's start over. Let's start all the way over. Like reset. And then let's go in.
So, can you walk us through what a corporate wellness session or program with you actually looks like?
Well, it depends on how many associates you guys have. So, and what you guys want to focus on. Because, like I said, I do a lot of different things. So, if we want to do fitness, if you want to do, you get to choose whatever style you want with your employees. After we do all of that and get the style, get the how many people gonna be there, I'll set up your class based off what you want to focus on, right? What is something that you are struggling with in your corporation right now? Out of your metrics, is it quality? Is it cost? Is it safety? Is it retention? Like, what do you need to focus on? What do you need to fix? What do you need me to help with, add morale to, right? And then I'll take that and then I'll incorporate my practices, whether it's more energy, whether it's more retention, whether it's a mental thing, whether it's breathing techniques, it's stretching them out completely, resetting their whole nervous system so that way they mind and brain and can connect and start all over as well. And then resetting their whole body so that way they can feel good and start over and like really feel like that they are actually gaining some type of value from the job. Because if I'm adding value to you, how are you put like reciprocating that energy, right? So like it's an exchange. So oh my gosh, yes, do a quick however long they want. It doesn't matter however long you want, whether you want to do it virtually or in person. It could be 45 to 35 minutes to 15 minutes to even 10 minutes. It just depends on what you want, however you guys prep in the morning. I know at Amazon, what we used to do was all the managers will meet up early in the morning before we went to our associates. So those type of meetings in a meeting reset, right? How do you set up your managers? Especially that too. Because that's also another thing. Like, how are we setting up our managers as well when we're in these corporations? Like, are you just telling them to hurry up and clock in and do this, get to it? Or are you mentally resetting a paradigm from them coming out of whatever life they had going on and they coming in here and bringing it in here? How are we resetting that? Once you reset that, go on about your day, the rest of the day. You don't have to worry about anything, nothing but in Amazon. That's how I got through Amazon. Was having to reset.
So, let's talk about your Black History influences. When we chatted, I asked you who were the three most influential people in your life and career. You told me Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, Dr. Daniel Black, and your mother were the most inspirational people in your life and career. So, with you, you've named Dr. Dennis Kimbrough as one of the most significant Black history influences. Tell us who he is, what he means to you, and how the example of his life and work has shaped yours.
Well, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, that is my professor, my mentor, our confidant, our leader. Like he is everything in the business school. When I first got there, it's like he's the dad, the father, the mother, the everything you need him to be. And man, when I tell you getting there and having to take first year seminar, because at Clark Atlanta University in the business school, it's mandatory that we take first year seminar, second year and third year seminar. So I look at those as basically a way to rebrand and reshape us as people. Um our mental though. That's where that mental, right? That paradigm change, that paradigm switch that he really installed in us. That's for me stepping on that campus as a freshman at 18 years old, fresh, not knowing, not confused, not even confused, but just knowing a little bit about myself, but really wanting and willing to grow more and find out more about who I am as a woman and becoming her. And man, Great class. When I tell you, I look forward to that class every Friday, every Friday. And I think Monday I was in his class. But yes, going to his classes, it wasn't just about teaching how to win financially. He was talking about how to win mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, community, organization, and then bringing it back and then doing a full circle moment and coming back to where it all started. And I think that that was one of the best things that he could do. And he still came back and came back to where it all started. So, yeah,
So
he is.
what is it about his literary work and his scholarly example that speaks to so directly to what you're trying to build through dance and wellness education?
Well, what a lot of people don't know, and they should know, is that Dr. Dennis Kimbrough is the reason why the business school thrives the way it does. He's one of the recent resources as to why it thrives the way it does when it comes to like the resources that he gives us. Um, we had to, like, there was that determination, that grit. We had no choice but to be great. I love hearing from, my favorite part was knowing that I was getting taught by a millionaire that looked like me. Like, it was actually hope. Like, I could actually be a millionaire. Like I'm getting taught by one in my face. He's telling me that I'm great. So I have no choice but to be great because he told me I was. And he looked like me. So I know I am. And he's the one that's drilling it in us. You better look like this. You bet what you got on. I mean, it was to the point where the clothes, if my clothes didn't look right, it's a problem, right? Like, it was very, very strict. But he was also just teaching us about life and teaching us about having boundaries and setting the standard and having a backbone for yourself when it comes to you in life. That was my favorite part about that whole class because he did not play, and that taught me to not play. Don't play about me because he didn't play about us, so I'm not gonna play about me.
So let's talk about your mother here. What did she teach you through her actions, her words, her way of being in the world that no institution, no degree, and no professional experience could have given you?
My mom taught me about literally everything, but if I had to choose one, like right now, she taught me how to love, like really, really love someone, like actually love someone unconditionally and believing in somebody. Like, no, I believe in everything you say. Like, anything you tell me, I know you're going to do it because you are that person. So you said that you were going to do that. So do it. Like, that was my mom. My mom was the reason why I would literally tell my mom, okay, this is how I knew. My mom, I had tried out for the volleyball, cheerleading team, basketball team, made all three. My mom said, okay, so which one you want to do? Because you made all three. Which one do you want to do? We had to choose between which one, or do you want to do all three? If you want to do all three, all right. But you sure you don't want to just do one? But just that, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got your back 110%. When nobody else got your back, I got your back. I see your greatness before you ever did. So that part is just like, okay, let's go. That's my drive. Tell mom I'm gonna do something. She like, okay, when is it about to get done? Do you need help? If not, all right, I know you got it. Tell me when it's done.
Final question for you. Looking at these three influences, Dr. Kimbrough, Dr. Black, and your mother, what is the thread that connects them? What is the common lesson or value that all three of them, in their very different ways, have transmitted to you?
My life, my power, my decisions.
Hmm.
Mama allowed me to make my decisions. My life started. Dr. Kimbrough helped me reshape my life, turn my life around into something I never imagined that I could. My whole brain, like I didn't even think I know I could think like that. I knew I could think like that, but like knowing like it actually is there, like no, you could think it and do it. My life, my power lived within Dr. Daniel Black because he instilled that in us just by letting me know who I was as a Black woman, strictly Black woman. Let me know the real deal, who I was, where I came from, where I originated from, why I walk the way I walk, why I talk, why I look the way I look, all of it. That's it. My life, my power, my decisions. And they all played a huge role in it. And which is why now I tell people it's you better define and find your life, your power, and your decisions. Because I'm telling you, that's the simple way to live. It's a simple way to live. Once you know those three, you're good.
So, in closing, what are some words of wisdom and encouragement that you would like to leave with our audience? Tell them how to connect with you via your social media, go to your website, about your dance courses, any of those good things.
Hmm. What I would like to leave everybody with, one, believe in yourself. Really, really believe in yourself. It sounds very simple. It sounds very cliche. People tell you to do it all the time. But the actual practice of you believing in yourself, like, say it, like really stopping and being like, actually, I am going to do that. I'm going to do that and then do it. And doing it. And then not only that, find your higher power. Because when you do it with your higher power, it's just y'all two, and you zone in with that with your higher power, everything, all the doors just start opening. When you are living in your purpose and you are living in your alignment, you will be able to walk in your power, your life, and your decisions. Because if it's you and him, you good. You good. And then resets. Really reset your paradigm. Like I really would love for you all to, like, for all of us, for Black people, we gotta start somewhere. And it really, really starts up with us mentally. If we Black people, if we start here, everything else, I promise you, is gonna fall. It's gonna fall right into place. And then you're gonna be like, whoa, yeah, because I did the same thing. I It was
Yeah.
testament that said, whoa, let me switch this. Let
Yup.
reverse psychology it. Like, I'm not broke. I got a lot of money. That type of thing. Even though, like, I'm there, I'm a millionaire. Even though I don't have million, I'm a millionaire, right? Like that type of thing. It's not called manifestation. It's called God. It's called having a believer, and it's called knowing you and walking in your faith, your purpose, and your alignment. And you guys can find me anywhere on social media at SoChauntay _, anywhere on social media. That is my company name. And also, if you need this healing, need this reset, every Monday, I teach Monday Reset. We have Monday Reset with Shantae inside my school community. If I'm not busy, right? If I'm not busy, I am teaching. But yes, every Monday we have Monday Reset with Shantae. Every Friday we have Walk in Your Power with Shantae. So not only am I resetting you at the tip of the week, I'm gonna show you how to walk in your power at the end of it too, and then walk into the beginning of the week just by your mental, right? And through movement, because I love to dance and you should too. And yes, you guys can find me everywhere. Like I said, SoChauntay _. Please follow me everywhere. Um, and yes, join the community. I would love to see you guys there. I would really do. And get into these classes, get into this somatic healing, get into your healing, heal yourself. And I love you all. Thank you for watching this episode. And thank you so much, Charles, for even asking me to come on this platform. This is huge. This is epic for my company, for us to be 1 years old. This is huge. So yeah, thank you for this platform. Continue doing this platform, man. This is you walking in your power. So, I mean, super honored, completely honored to be here.
Well, I appreciate you so much. And before I close the show, Mr. Jackson just put another comment in here for you that I think you like. I'm gonna put it
Oh,
on the screen. Um,
Mr.
it's
Jackson, you better breathe and stretch a little because I'm telling y'all, just a little bit. Just give me a little bit. Like y'all just do a little bit. Like I'm telling you what to do. In the morning, do it in the morning, do it before you go to sleep, and then journal. Reflect on it. Reflect on what it made you feel like. Even if it didn't make you feel like nothing, journal that. It didn't make me feel like nothing. But guess what you are still doing though? Working on your redefine resetting. You're still resetting because you're letting it all out. You just let all the stress, the back tension, all of that stuff out just by writing it out or dancing it out. Simple.
well. Before I close, I'm gonna well, when I get ready to close the show, I want you to, if you can, give me a few minutes after I close. I
Oh
want to
yeah.
thank you, Corey, for your comments, and I appreciate you for showing up. I want to say to each and every guest, each and every person in the audience, for those of you that do participate in the show, I want you to know that I much appreciate you and I love you all. I just want you guys to please understand that when you do ask your questions are your questions, your comments are your comments. But I just ask that, just be respectful with the things that you ask and think about the questions that you ask when you're asking them. Because we don't need to take every situation from a historical context as to what's real and what's false. Because
Hmm.
life is life and it's always lifing. So I want to thank each and every last one of you that has been here to watch us from the beginning to now and let you know I appreciate you so much. Please, if you have not yet, especially first time listeners, if you would please, if you're on any of our YouTube channels, if you would please subscribe and enable all notifications. Every show that we have, you will get the notifications to watch the show live, as well as you have the ability to go back and watch each and every show, as you will learn from each and every professional from many, many industries that have dropped plenty of knowledgeable nuggets for every individual to build his or her community and to be about community. So, in closing, I've got this wonderful monologue that I must close with. Every now and then, a conversation comes along that doesn't just inform you, it moves you. Not metaphorically, not figuratively, it reaches into something that will steal and make it want to rise. Tonight has been that kind of conversation. Tabria Sims came to this table not with a rehearsed narrative or a carefully managed brand image, but with the full weight and beauty of a life lived in purpose. And what she shared with us tonight will stay with me long after these cameras stop rolling. I hope it stays with you too. Three things have crystallized for me in one course of this conversation, and I want to name them before I let you go. First, movement is not optional. For Black people who have historically been denied so many forms of expression, autonomy, and joy, the reclaiming of the body through dance is not a luxury. It is a revolutionary act. Every time Tabria walks into a studio or opens a virtual classroom or brings her work into a corporate hallway, she is insisting that Black people deserve to heal in their wholeness, and that their bodies are sites of liberation, not limitation. Second, community is not a background feature of this work. It is the entire point. Tabria did not build SoChauntay Dance Company or Chauntay Dance University for herself. She built them as a vessel for others, as places where people who might otherwise never encounter their own potential could walk through a door and discover what they are made of. And third, Black women. are the architects of our collective wellness. They have always been. What Tabria is doing is not new in its spirit. It is new in its scale, its platform, and its insistence on being countered and recognized, and that matters. For me personally, this conversation sits squarely in the heart of what American Black and White has always been about. We started this show because we believed, and we continue to believe, that the stories of Black Americans are not niche stories. They are American stories. They are human stories. And that when we tell them fully, without apology, with all of their complexity and beauty and pain and possibility, something happens in the listener. Something softens, something opens, something heals. Tonight, Tabria reminded us of that truth in a way I did not expect, and I am grateful. So here's my call to action, and I want you to take it seriously. Move your body this week, not to perform for anyone, not to achieve any particular result, but simply because you are alive and your body is waiting for you to remember that. Invest in Black-owned businesses. Include Tabria's sign up for SoChauntay Dance University on School. Follow SoChauntay Dance Company. Tell a Black woman in your community that has not yet considered what it would mean to bring the transformative power of movement into your culture. I encourage you to make that call. The results might surprise you. They have surprised everyone who has been brave enough to try. This is American Black and White. We are complex. We are layered, and we are beautiful and bruised and brilliantly unfinished. And conversations like the one we had tonight, honest, culturally grounded, full of wisdom and fire and grace, are how we keep building the future that all of us deserve. Thank you to Tabria SoChauntay for your time, your truth, and your extraordinary spirit. Thank you to our production team at the MIBW Media Ecosystem for making this moment possible. And thank you, everyone watching, every single person who showed up tonight to listen. Your presence matters. Until next time, I'm your host, Charles Zachary King, and this has been American Black and White.